G'day there guys, it's your Aussie hubby Marky, and welcome back to another episode of r/relationship advice. If you love this bloody good content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification because I post every day. Yep, every day, I never miss a day. With that said, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn to the barbie, and let's get right into it. Posted by user FunControl8549 titled, "Am I the a-hole for calling my sister a misogynist and telling her that she needs to find a different career?" My 26 female, sister, 29 female, and I got into a huge argument the other day, and I really need some perspective. My sister has been working as an L&D nurse for a few years now. She has always wanted to be a nurse and has even said that it was her calling. Lately, she has been making horrible remarks about the mothers that come to her. Now, I understand that every job is going to have its problems, and sometimes you need to vent about rude people, management, pay, etc. However, this was not like that. For example, she talked about one of her patients, which she referred to as white whale. My sister said that white whale went into labor and brought her husband with her. She talked about how hot her husband was and how she could not understand how whale was able to pull someone like him. She laughed when recalling the sounds that she made when pushing out her child, oh my god, and said that she didn't look like the type of woman to be strong enough to go the natural route. In the past, she's talked about how another mum-to-be defecated on the table, and she remarked that she wouldn't be surprised if her husband divorced her after seeing something so nasty. Other stories included a teenage patient who just couldn't keep her legs closed. Here, my sister claimed that she gave her some sound advice, quote unquote, and I'm honestly scared to know what she had said to this young girl. With this girl, my sister laughed about she gave her a nurse dose of pain meds to get her to shut up and refused to give her a blanket, since if she wants to act like an adult, then she deserves to be treated like one. The fight between her and I happened a few days ago due to her talking about a mother who delivered a premature baby. She admitted that she told this mother that she should have done a better job if she didn't want to have a baby born at 29 weeks. I blew up at my sister and asked how she could be so heartless. My sister told me that she should have the right to vent about stupid mothers who don't know how to do the thing their body is designed for. She also said that I don't work in healthcare, so I have no right to remark on how she handles stress at work. I told her that if her way of handling stress is to be a misogynist, then she needs to find a different career, and I left afterwards. My other family members have been divided on this issue. My husband is on my side. My mum and brother think that I was in the right to call my sister out, while my aunt, uncle, and dad are leaning towards my sister, saying that my sister shouldn't have to kiss up to her patients in order to do her job efficiently. I feel bad for some of the things I said, and I know that she needs to let off steam, but saying horrible things about women in their most vulnerable time just isn't cutting it for me. In addition, my family does not know this yet, but I'm pregnant. And hearing about how my sister, a nurse, is treating pregnant women just makes me scared for labor and delivery. So, am I the a-hole? Personally, I'm gonna say not the a-hole in this situation. I don't understand why these people are defending her. I could understand why they're defending her if they're complicit in these actions and they sympathize with the words that are coming out of this woman's mouth. What a horrible human being, what an absolutely horrible human being your sister is. That's the kind of attitude that if the hospital staff is competent and they are paying attention, she gets kicked out of teams and fired from that place. At least, in a perfect world, I would hope so. But unfortunately, we don't live in a perfect world, do we? How does you calling out her bad behavior make you an asshole? Oh my god, you're such a loser for pointing out all the wrong things that I've done and the terrible treatment of my patients. You should keep your ass closed because you're a bad person for pointing out my flaws. That's the argument I'm seeing here. Anyway, not the a-hole. Let's see what Reddit has to say. Oh yeah, before we get into that, OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I think I might be the asshole here because I yelled at my sister when she was venting, because I know that as a nurse, her job can be difficult. At the same time, she was saying horrible things about her patients and making misogynistic remarks. I don't agree that yelling would make you an asshole. But hey, that's just me. I guess I'm weird like that. In the comments, Oh my god, not the a-hole, and you should report her to her accreditation body. She's not just venting, she's recounting instances of her hideously inappropriate behavior. No one should be subjected to care like that. Gay to be included replies, "This exactly. As someone who worked in healthcare, I could never imagine speaking this way about patients." Bury Me in Books replies, 100%. All my L&D education is from Mama Dr. Jones on YouTube, and even I know that every woman craps on the table after vaginal birth. That's how the body works. You squish and it all comes out. Then on top of that, what is a nurse dose? Is that too much or too little medication? Because either way, it sounds like the wrong thing. And if she wants to act like an adult, she doesn't get a blanket? Should we send your sister out into the Canadian winter with no jacket then? Because it's clear that she wants to act like an adult too, and honestly, that might help some patients. Venting is telling everyone about the guy who came into my work so high that he thought that I was a pilot because of my white business shirt uniform. This is not that. This sounds like she's genuinely angry at her patients and is treating them wrongly. FYI, this is not what any nurse I have been around has acted like, and I'm Canadian, so I've seen a bunch. RosieCat220803 says, "Your sister sounds cruel and heartless, and I feel so bad for every patient who ever has to deal with her. Really, such a person deserves to be removed from this job because she's probably doing a lot of psychological damage to people like that teenage girl that you mentioned, and just overall the way she speaks to you about everything, it's clear she has no empathy or even human decency, really. Not the a-hole, but if I were in your place, I would report her to management." Back up to the post, we have an edit. "Okay, hi everybody. First, thank you all for the advice, support, and the well wishes for our pregnancy. I'm about 11 weeks along right now, and so I do plan on telling our families in a week or so. With the issue regarding my sister, I don't have too many updates yet, other than the fact that my husband and I called the hospital where my sister works and essentially explained what my sister has said about her patients to me. I went into detail about what I could remember and just reported it. They thanked me for letting them know, but I don't know what further action they would take. My sister is taking the night shift tonight, and she has yet to call me screaming, so we will see what occurs in the next few days. I'll give you an update soon." Edit number 2. "Okay, hey. So, this afternoon, the hospital that I called yesterday called us back this afternoon, and essentially gave me a link to online and asked me to fill out a detailed written complaint specifically about what my sister had said about the teenage patient and the nurse dose, something they didn't know about. It's something that they are taking very seriously, and the teenage patient was apparently fairly recent. The guy on the phone also alluded that the family of the patient also made a complaint, so I guess they're just trying to see if the events occurred matched what we have to say. Someone is also going around asking the unit about what exactly happened with that patient's care and if they saw anything or if anything was said." And now on to the updates. Okay, hi again everyone. First, thank you again to everyone who commented and gave me advice on how to best navigate this situation. I tried to write this update in a separate post, but the mods wouldn't let me, so here I am at the bottom of my original post again, giving you guys an update. To sum it all up, shit hit the fan. This morning, my sister came over to where me and my husband live and started banging at our door. My husband opened the door and my sister barged her way in, screaming. I came into the living room where she was, and she started screaming at me more. My husband had to stand in front of me because he was worried that she was going to lunge at me. My sister was yelling about how she lost her job because of some bullshit reports, and that she knows that it was me talking crap about her because I just couldn't stay out of her business. I replied that it was my business if she was bullying pregnant women and then bragging about it. My sister told me to F off, and she said once again that she could talk about anyone any way she effing likes, as long as she gets her job done, because that's what she went to school for, and that I don't know crap. I reminded my sister that I actually might know some more crap since, I don't know, a certain teenager's family had something to say about her behavior as well. My sister proceeded to go on a rant about that bear and her family, and how she was supposedly annoying her by giving birth? I had trouble processing what she said because it was honestly mind-boggling. And here's where things got really crappy. I thought that my sister saying horrible things about her patients who hadn't done anything wrong was mean. I thought that the nicknames were cruel. I thought that her telling laboring mothers that they weren't doing things right and dosing a teenager and slut-shaming was vile and, yes, misogynistic. However, it was about to get atrocious. During my sister's rant, she said that she wanted to teach the brat a lesson and said that maybe if she gave birth when she was older, her kid wouldn't have died. Oh, no, you can't say that! My mouth dropped open. I didn't know this before. That poor girl, her baby effing died. I was horrified. I fell to the floor sobbing, imagining that child in so much pain, and my pregnancy hormones combined got to me, and I was on the floor having a panic attack. I told my sister to get the F out of my home, and my husband escorted her out. My husband held me for a good 15 minutes until I calmed down. So yeah, I'm recovering from all of that now. I don't plan on talking to my sister for a while. I do plan on announcing the pregnancy soon, but I'm putting that off until later. Anyways, thank you for your advice, concerns, and well wishes. Peace. In the comments, quote, the bit about I wanted to teach that brat a lesson and if she was older, in conjunction of the nurse's dose crap, makes me wonder if she didn't do something to the baby. And OP replies, from the way my sister was talking about it, I think it was unrelated and that the baby died because the mum's body just wasn't ready for childbirth, ? I don't know when she gave the pain medication to her, but it could have been after the birth as well, assuming there were complications. I'd just like to think that she wouldn't go that far. Oh my god, I can't deal with this. What a terrible person, what an absolutely morally bankrupt individual this sister is. This story is just a house fire that I don't want to look away from, if you catch my drift. Faith in humanity destroyed. Yet another story of what is there to say. I guess the comments have something, let's see what they say. GenderNed says, I work psychiatry and sometimes have to clean poop off of people while they are actively trying to hurt me and calling me every slur they can think of, and this is still unfathomable to me. Rawrist replies, I've got certifications to volunteer with people with traumatic brain injuries, have never, in decades of my life, thought to abuse them verbally and physically, even when they're saying and doing horrific crap. Oh my god, that nurse is inhuman. Nurse Grey replies, yes, I've been a nurse for 20 years. The scariest thing about this for me is that this nurse didn't get this crappy alone. She has been enabled in whatever toxic culture she works in. I guarantee that there is a gaggle of nurses that she joked with at work that said these same vile things and played these dangerous games with the people in their care. She was way too comfortable spouting that crap to have been alone. The nurse dose she's talking about means that she deliberately overdosed someone, which could kill someone. I hope she never works in the nursing field again. I have never worked in an environment like that, and I never will. Ginger Bruger replies, I don't know why, but L&D attracts the mean girls of nursing. I used to be a float nurse, and I hated getting sent there because of all the cattiness. We've all vented in the med room about our patients, but no one on my unit would ever talk about patients like that. A name is needed here says, if she hates pregnant women so much, why would she work in a maternity ward? I just don't understand. Did the sister learn that she can't get pregnant, so she's using this to vent out her stress? Did she miscarry and is now pissed at women who, quote, don't take care of themselves? I don't get why she's so hateful to these women and why she works there. There's definitely some unresolved trauma there. Hopefully she can get a therapist and then apologize to her sister and the people she hurt. But if this is her default state, then wow. Just wow. CJ Craig's Goldfish says, I'm a social worker and the number of colleagues I've had who openly despised the people we were serving is well into double digits. I'll never understand why people who hate the disadvantaged go into a field that exists to help the disadvantaged. This is /J, this is not /SRS, but I want to give the sister a nurse dose of something, if you know what I'm saying. What an outrageous story. Let me know what you guys think in the comments because I am befuddled. Absolutely. Our next post is by user ThrowRA HotRock2557 titled, My boyfriend, 19 male, has given me, 19 female, an ultimatum on the clothing I wear. My boyfriend and I have been together for a few months after taking a break for a year because I moved away that year. Neither of us wanted to do long distance, and neither of us got into a relationship with anyone else. Before that, we were high school sweethearts for 2 years. Back then, he didn't care what I wore, or at least didn't communicate to me that he found certain clothing, shirts with midriffs showing, tighter dresses, or me posting vacation pictures, such as me on the beach in a bikini, uncomfortable for him. Now that we've gotten back together, he tells me it's a boundary for him that I wear more modest clothes because he doesn't want other men to see parts of his girlfriend that only he should see. Insecure. God, I'm choking on the insecurity. It's thick. Oh, God. He told me that before, he just felt happy that he got to be with me because he had liked me for years and didn't feel like it was his place to tell me what to wear. But now that we're back together, it's different. Yesterday, we went through my clothes, and he told me what he is okay with me wearing and what he isn't. There was one specific dress that I loved, and he told me that it's a no, and I started crying. We almost broke up over this one dress until he asked me what I care more about, him or the dress. Obviously, I told him I care more about him. It's very difficult for me because I'm very into fashion and I don't see these clothes as too revealing or sexual at all. I also struggled with body image for years when I was younger, and this has taken me back to the mindset of not being able to wear certain clothes because I wanted to hide my body. However, I'm very dependent on him and value his opinion a lot. I don't know what to do. I'm just stop you there for 1 second. Why? He's 19. You're 19. Have some self-awareness. You're kids. He hasn't been in a relationship like this before. What does he know? He's talking like he's an authority on the matter. He has no clue what he's talking about. Man watched a few podcasts on TikTok and thought he was the arbiter of relationships and women's values. He's just an insecure little boy. That's all he is. That's what all of us are sometimes, but we don't try to control others. My honest advice: don't even try to salvage it, just break it up, tell him what he did wrong, why he was wrong, and let him mature and figure this stuff out by himself, because you can't allow this to continue and enable this behavior. If it makes him uncomfortable, that means he doesn't trust you in the relationship, and why should you respect that? Why should you trust him if he doesn't trust you? Let him go, let him do some growing up. In the comments, RazzleDazzle626 says, "Why do you want to be with someone so badly who is this controlling?" OP replies, "He got sad when I told him my friend said he was controlling. He tells me I can do what I want, but he won't be with me. We were both crying because we didn't want to break up over something as small as clothes, but right now we are not talking while he waits for me to choose the dress or him." It's such a hard choice, this one. "It only starts with the clothes." Cartman replies, "He will push his insecurities onto you in the form of control until you are no longer yourself. Leave now before he forbids you from having certain friends, watching certain shows, eating certain foods, etc." Laura Babora325 says, "It starts with the clothes, then what you eat, then where you go, then who you see, and that includes family members. Then he has you in a chokehold and alienated from everyone, and he abuses you, and you have no one to turn to. Get out. My husband has never policed what I wore. He may express his opinions here or there, but he has never said it is me or the dress. He even likes when I dress up for him. What does your boyfriend expect you to do? Wear a robe that covers you head to toe, only showing your eyes? Your boyfriend is a creep." Whiskey Girl 81 says, "Take some advice from someone who has been married 25 wonderful years and who grew up in a household with people like your boyfriend. Leave. Choose the dress. My husband has never told me what I can and cannot wear, even if he didn't like it. He said nothing. Your boyfriend is being controlling. It starts small, like telling you what you can or cannot wear, and it gets bigger and worse. He's trying to manipulate you into doing what he wants. Choose the dress, you lose me. If you want to stay with me, then you have to dress how I want you to. You're still young and you have a whole life ahead of you. You'll find someone who loves you for who you are and how you dress. He is not the one. Please choose the dress." And OP replies, "Thank you. I really appreciate your advice as someone who has been in a long and loving relationship, which is what I aspire to have. This is my first relationship, so it's hard for me to compare if what he says and does is right or wrong. He was there for me when my sister was in a horrible accident and through the pandemic, and we text and call constantly throughout the day, so it's hard for me to imagine life without him. Maybe it's good to just rip the band-aid off. I haven't been feeling like myself the past few months either. And now for the update. First of all, I wanted to say thank you for all the support and advice on my last post. I read every single comment and wanted to reply, but the reply option wasn't available. I'm new to Reddit, and I'm not sure why the post was capped and doesn't allow any more comments. But after feeling encouraged by your comments, I had the confidence to tell him that I choose being able to wear what I want. I reiterated how important fashion is to me and how his demands were bringing me back to a dark time of negative body image. We came to an agreement that there are fundamental differences in our values and what we want out of a relationship, because I want to be encouraged and uplifted, while he wants a girl whose body is only his to look at. By the way, I wanted to say that this dress was not scandalous. It is tight in some parts, but it doesn't show a lot of skin. He told me that we were done. He then blocked me on everything because, if he saw me, he would never be able to get over me. I cried for a couple of hours and then got myself collected. I made an appointment with a therapist and got a membership at a different gym than him. But then 5 hours later, he unblocked me and sent a long paragraph about how he shouldn't have been so hasty and was willing to change to make things work. Yesterday, he texted me some more asking to talk in person. I agreed to meet up for a dinner in a public place. I wore the dress. He brought me a bouquet of white roses and my favorite chocolate. He told me that I look beautiful and that the 5 hours without me hurt so much, and at this point, he doesn't care if I'm walking around naked as long as he's the one that I'm with. Can this man's fundamental values really change overnight? Also, I felt almost giddy and excited once I was done crying, but now I feel bad for him. Thanks, Jerry. I'll take love bombing for 1,000. Haha. Gaslighting, yes. Love bombing, yes. You in the back there, yes. Toxic cycle that is starting now that will only repeat itself. You are so right. Let's start this trauma cycle. In the comments, Zesty Close Salary says, treats you like shit, then brings you flowers. Wash, rinse, repeat. That is how the cycle begins. Puzzle-headed ad 1634 says, exactly this, OP. Plus, you were doing fine without him and he saw that, so he backtracked. He thought that you were going to be beside yourself and fall at his feet. Who the F breaks up with their girlfriend because she wants to wear her own clothes? Please, don't take this dude back. He's just messing with you. Because it's the start of abuse. He will shower you with love and then abuse you emotionally over things. Shower you with gifts, rinse and repeat. Run. Dun, 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 dun. Frolican Detour says, his attempt at controlling you failed, so now he's going to lull you into a false sense of security and hope that the next time he tries it, you'll be too invested to walk away. He's an Andrew Tate wannabe. She called his bluff, now he's crawling back. This will not end well. I Am Hurting Cat says, this is called love bombing, and it's another part of the cycle of abuse. He's just trying to worm his way back into your good graces. As someone old enough, literally, to be your grandmother and a veteran of a couple abusive relationships, please believe me when I say, girl, run, run. Do not walk, get away from this man, and do not look back. Random internet stranger says, the classic I will shower her with love and affection so that then I will control her again. She'll be confused and maybe this time I'll succeed in tearing down her self-esteem so that she stays with me. Run, OP, run. Block him. He's not changed in just 5 hours. The only thing he's changed is his tactics on how he's going to control her, and even that hasn't really changed much. Yup, war doesn't change, just the battlefield. I wish OP all the best. I hope that we don't have another update where they're like, you know what, it's been 3 years and I got a baby and I'm trapped with this man now. What do? If we get another update, of course, I will read all of this again, laugh again, and then, hopefully, we get a good ending to this. Anyway, that's where I'm going to end today's episode, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, and you still haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Hit the bell notification. I love your faces. Hope you guys have a good day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Couch.